They do overlap, although in some regions they actually don't. So you really think these probably are statistically significant differences, maybe. Certainly it looks like they are there. So that's time 0. This is after over 3 months. And I thought, okay, somebody screwed up and we've got a copy of the same data again. No, this really is the same data, space flight in the ground for the mutant, space flight in the ground for the wild type, and they really look this much like the time 0 data. So that was impressive that the system worked that way, and that the bacillus subtilis were completely laughing about being in outer space. They didn't think anything of the radiation. But we taught them a lesson. So at 6 months, this spacecraft was in a really interesting environment, and somewhere after 3 months and before 6, he went through a period of severe sunburn. It got the orbit, the amount of sun exposure in the particular orbit this is in varies with time of the year. And it got in a part of the orbit where it was in the sun 24 hours a day for about 5 days in a row. And it got hot. And our thermal engineer thought he had this figured out. He was close, but he was a little bit off. And this is, to be fair, this is really hard to do to get this just right. And so we cooked the biology, not with the rocket motor, but with the sun. So they got up to, our estimate is about 44 degrees C. Now the cool thing is they actually still did grow. We had the thermal data, at least some of it from space, and we tried on the ground, sort of a delayed manner, to also cook the ones on the ground. We obviously didn't bake them as well, because the ones in space, they were just getting going, and this looks like maybe they were totally dead, but if you keep following this, the curve in space actually does eventually do that. It has the same characteristics, it's not as big. They really look like they've been beaten up. The ones on the ground, you can see these are slowed down compared to that, but we didn't roast them nearly as well. It could be that the radiation played a role.